What's up? What's up, travel hackers? Tonight we're going to be talking about long layovers and 2-for-1 vacations. As you guys begin to tune in, I just want to ask you, let me know that you're tuning in. If you haven't gone and signed up on the StreamYard yet, please do that so that I can see when you log in or when you join the live or whatever the language is. So I'm going to dig right in. I used to hate long layovers. I don't know about you, but the idea of hanging out in an airport was not on my list. And it's only been recently, within the last couple of years, where that has changed for me, especially when I've seen how much money it actually saves me to do a long layover, or what we call a 2-for-1. And so as you tune in, let me know that you're here because I see you guys popping on. But if you haven't signed up for StreamYard yet, I can't see who you are. Let me know. Do you like long layovers, or are you a person that needs to get to your location as soon as possible, right? And we're talking about luxury or leisure travel. We're not talking about work where you're on a set schedule, but you're doing something for leisure, vacation, relaxing, etc. And I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I've learned on these long layovers, the price difference, and the technique that we actually call a 2-for-1, and where I first saw this and why it changed everything for me. I was looking at going to Ireland. I was going to take a trip there before I won the Scotch Cheap Flight Ireland giveaway. If you guys didn't know, I won that, and it really springboarded me into what you see today. And it was such an amazing trip. It was incredible, right? So before I won that, hey, how are you, Rebecca? It's good that you're on here. So look at that. I get to do this cool thing too. I love StreamYard, man. And what had happened was I was looking at going back to Ireland, and I'm just going to share a little bit of it because it helps you guys understand. So I was married for 17 years, and one of the locations that we went to in 2010 was Ireland, and it was actually a beautiful country, but the trip itself wasn't really that great because there was a lot of strife and stuff in my marriage, which eventually fell apart in 2017. And I wanted to go back to Ireland to erase bad memories and replace them with good memories. That was my goal. There was a lot of different stuff happening in my life, and it wasn't the trip that I wanted Ireland to be. Regardless of the marriage I had, I'm in love with travel. I can't tell you a bad country I've been to, and I've been to some countries that many of you probably wouldn't want to go to, right? And it's the adventure and the excitement and the novelty of it. Like, I'm excited about it. You're from England and trying to find tickets to go home next year. Cool. I will help you with that, and I can help you, and I can save you a lot of money and show you techniques to help you. So I wanted to, and I don't know if you guys know this about your mind, but bad memories get stored differently than good memories. So I wanted to replace those bad memories. So when I won Scotch Cheap Flights giveaway, which is a shameless plug for Scotch Cheap Flights, I love those guys. But when I won that giveaway, I'd already been looking at going back to Ireland to do some inner healing for myself and to replace those bad memories. So Scotch Cheap Flight put me back in Ireland, which I actually set my trip up the way I would have had I done it on my own, and really redid a lot of those bad memories. And it was therapeutic for me. It really was. But while searching, I saw a flight that did a 3-day layover in Iceland, which has become one of my favorite countries now, followed by 7 days in Ireland, and then a direct flight back. And when I looked at that and found out that there's an entire strategy called 2-for-1s, it changed the way I look at flights. changed the way I looked at long layovers, changed the way that I travel now. Now I look for the 2-for-1 or the long layover. Long layovers at least 24 hours. Many times it's 2 or 3 days, and it substantially saves you off the cost of the ticket. Not only does it save you substantially off the cost of the ticket because of the delay in the city, it gives you an opportunity to stop over at great cities that you want to visit anyway, and you get 2 cities or 2 locations for the price of 1. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm going to give you an example, and you have to think about this in the context of pre-corona, because many of you probably wouldn't be excited about this now. I still am. But you can actually do round-trip tickets to China and do a long layover on the way there in, Singapore, in Thailand. There's a bunch of different Korea, and you can actually set this up to where you do 3 or 4 days at another location before carrying on to your final destination. That is exciting to me. I don't know if you could tell by my face, but just talking about it, And you can also do this as you go east and you're going to Europe. The most notorious or the most famous or the one that I see the most is this 3-day layover in Iceland, which I'm here to tell you is fabulous. I would spend 3 days in Iceland 3, 4, 5 times a year. Wouldn't have an issue. Love Iceland. And this idea of the 2-for-1 vacation is so appealing to me. I get to explore new cities, new destinations, and for the cost of a hotel instead of a second flight. You see the power of that? So I can get a hotel for 2 or 3 days and then roam about the city. And that's just so exciting to me. And I'll tell you, there's just a couple of different things about this that are so appealing. Is number one, when you start to look at going west, you're starting to talk about Australia, you're talking about Maldives, you're talking about Thailand, you're talking about Japan, Korea. Those are long flights. You're spending 20, 22, 25, 30 hours in the air. Now, unless you've got the money to go first class, or you understand credit card hacking like my buddy Dave does, Dave Moose, who comes on here periodically with me, first class wouldn't be so bad. Anything other than first class can be relatively uncomfortable, right? So imagine now breaking up your trip to where it's 10 hours, you hit a location, and then you spend 2 or 3 days, and then you continue on for another 10 hours. Complete game changer, right? So now I get to explore more cities for less money, and I get a break, and I get to eat great food, and I get to experience that culture and talk to those people. And that's what excites me about travel. And I mean, even sitting here now, I'm just fiending over that experience. And the 2-for-1 has really become something that I look forward to. Now, if you're talking about business travel, obviously that's probably not going to be an option for you. But if you actually plan out your vacation in such a way where you get a short layover in a destination that you want of 2 to 3 days, followed by going to your final destination, and then on the way back, you just have a longer flight, or maybe you could cut it down and do a longer layover so you could stretch out your legs and rest. This becomes a very attractive proposition for a lot of people. The savings, above and beyond what it would cost you to get a hotel in that location, the ability to take a rest, the ability to explore new and exciting places. The 2-for-1 it's not my favorite because I've learned that across the pond hack so well, but man, I'm super excited about it. I can't wait until travel opens up completely and I get to start to utilize that technique again, because there's so many great opportunities out there. China, Singapore, Beijing. When you're going west, Iceland, there's you could do it with Prague. You could do it with Istanbul, right? So it just depends on where you're heading in the world, how you would set this up. But there's the ability for you to do this. And it's so funny because you even see memes about it. Yeah, but flights to China for $200 and 36-hour layover. And I go, yes, whoa, give me that ticket, right? And people used to make fun of this, but I'm here to tell you this is a great deal. It's truly worth it for you unless you have a time schedule in which you have to be somewhere. Okay. So that's the 2-for-1 or the long layover technique. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it, especially if you're adventurous and you want to see more along the journey, right? Now, tonight, I want to throw this out to you guys. We're going to start going through hotels next week. I'm going to show you guys, or not next week. Jeez. I was thinking about over the weekend. We're going to next start to move in. I got a couple more things I'm going to tie off with airfare, and then we're going to go into hotels, cruises, rental cars, etc. Here's what I want you guys to do for me tonight. 2 things. If you have a question about travel or how to save money on a particular portion of travel, I want you to drop that question in here so that I can begin to answer those questions. I don't care what it is. Listen, I helped a family of 12 fly to Madrid and got their tickets for 60% less than what they were looking at it for. You're talking to 11 people in a family. That's like almost second mortgage type of travel costs, the way that most people do it. I was able to help them. So I don't care if you're talking about large family. I don't care if you're trying to plan a vacation where you don't have to fly internationally and you want to do national because of everything that's happening in the world. Drop your questions. That's call to action or step 1. If you got some sort of travel related question, I want to try to answer that for you and help you save money along the way. Okay. Question number 2. Hopefully you guys are getting a lot of value out of the lives where I'm teaching you how to save money on travel. Here's the question though. Is it enough for you to just save money, or would you actually like to learn how to make money off travel without being a travel agent? If that's you, just drop a travel emoji and then I'll connect with you and show you some of the stuff that I'm doing and how I've monetized the travel industry without having to be a travel agent. I'll help you with your travel, but I don't really like to book your travel. I mean, I will on occasion, but I really try not to. Okay. So if that would be of interest to you, just let me know, reach out to me, drop it a travel emoji or drop your travel question, and I'll take care of you guys over the course of the next 10 or 15 days as we're talking through this Travel Hackers series. Thanks for popping on, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night.